Today I'll be going over my Mannadium hybrid deck. The Mannadium cards is the main engine, but it also plays Scareclaw, Spright, White Forest, and Azamina cards. And for a 60 card pile, it all fits right in. So let's start off with the hand traps. We play 3 copies of the best hand traps in the game. 3 copies of Ash Blossom and 3 copies of Imper. Play it at 3, Great going first and Great going second. Then we play the cross-out targets, and still good hand traps going second too. We play 1 copy of Effect Veiler, 1 copy of Ghost Ogre, 1 copy of Droll, 1 copy of Molcharmy Forloss, and 1 copy of Nib. I don't want them at 2 or 3, they're just there for cross-out targets, but they're still good going second regardless, so 1 of each. Pretty good. 11 hand traps total in our 60 card deck. Next we'll move on to the main deck monsters. So to start off, we have the main starter that we want to go into, Mannadium Heart. With Mannadium Heart, you would pretty much search the ball, which is Mannadium Fearless. We played the Earth Mannadium over the Water type, or the Water type Mannadium, because we don't really need level 4 tuners, more as we do need level 2s, since we also played the Spright package. And also with the level 2 Earth tuner plus the level 3 Scareclaw monster, it goes into Natural Beast really well. So I played the Earth Mannadiums. So next we play 2 copies of Visa Samsara. Visa Samsara is pretty good as a normal summon, going to Scareclaw Lightheart, which is the Link 1 Scareclaw monster, and to extend your plays from there. It's also treated as Visa Starfrost, so this card is pretty good when it's in your hand. I play 2 copies instead of 3 because I don't want to draw multiple copies. They're bricks if I draw multiple. 2 I feel like is the correct number. 1 copy of Visa Starfrost, just if I don't draw Samsara, I can always add Starfrost from my deck to hand by the field spells, either by Peaceful Planet Calarium or Primitive Planet Rycophobia. I play 1 copy of Scareclaw Reichard, 1 copy of Acro, so Acro and the ball makes Natural Beast. I play 1 copy of Unicorn and 2 copies of Fenrir. I feel like this is the correct ratio, only 1 Unicorn, because going first or second, this card is great for ripping out the extra deck, but for grind games, the Kashtira Fenrir is definitely the better card. And Fenrir is the monster search, so I can always just search Unicorn for later, or just search for Kashtira Fenrir if I need a follow-up play for later. And moving on to the White Forest cards, 3 copies of Elzette of the White Forest. You'll be mainly sending the field spells for cost in order to search for your White Forest monsters to extend your play, and primarily you'll be searching for Lucia of the White Forest. I play it at 2 copies, and it's an automatic level 6 synchro play. Special summon Lucia since I control Elzette. And if I already have Lucia in my hand, the next best card is Azamina Elzette of the White Forest. This card is for free special summon for your Spright engine, for your White Forest engine. Level 6 plus this level 2 goes into Visa's Amatara. It also chainlink blocks, so you can go chainlink 1 Amatara, chainlink 2 Azamina Elzette of the White Forest, and you will add Deceptions of Sinful Spoils with this card. And that's going to be an additional Omni Negate. And moving on to our Spright engine, we play 3 copies of Spright Blue, 1 copy of Spright Jet. I play it at 1 copy because I have 60 cards in my deck, and 60 cards is the maximum that you can have in a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. And I also feel like 1 copy of Spright Jet is good enough since I only play 1 gigantic Spright anyways. 2 copies of Spright Red, in case you have 1 in your hand already. You can special summon the other one from your deck by gigantic Spright if necessary. 1 copy of Spright Carrot, in case you want to spell and trap negate instead. And moving on to the spells and traps now, we have 3 copies of Peaceful Planet Calarium. This is your starter enabler, and you would primarily search Mannadium Heart with this card. 2 copies of Primitive Planet Dracophobia. I play it at 2 because if I have one in hand, I can always search the other and have 2 spell and trap cards as targets for my White Forest card effects. 2 copies of Pressured Planet Rare Sauce. That Kashtira special summon is always nice, and I play it at 2 and not at 3 because if I draw multiple, they're bricks. And I play 3 copies of Crossout Designators. This is at 3, primarily because this deck dies to Droll, and if it dies to Droll, it's over for this deck. And that's the only weakness of this deck that I've noticed, at least so far. And for Crossout Designator, you want to save it if they play against Mannadium Multi-Engine. If they have Imperm or Ash, you want to cross out that because that's your critical play. Otherwise, just save it for Droll or Nib. That's the other option for Crossout Designator, and you really want to get all your gas going is the thing. And 1 called by, no explanation there. Great card for hand traps going first. Going second, it's a great interruption for your opponent's monsters that are in the graveyard. 1 reinforcement at the Realm Heart, or if you have Realm Heart, you can add Rykard instead, Scareclaw Rykard. 1 terraforming to add the field spell that you need. 2 Spright starters. If you have 1 in your hand, add the other one with Spright Jet. And 60 card deck, so I just play 2 and not 3. 2 Mannadium Obsidians. This is great in your hand if they interrupt your normal summon by negating and popping it. Mannadium Obsidian is definitely a great second choice way to go. It's a free special summon and a free searcher. 1 copy of Deception. Deception of the Sinful Spoils to search for the Howled Azamina, which will go into your Omni Negate. 1 copy of Scareclaw Arrival for the target for Scareclaw Rykard. And 1 copy of Birth. It's a target for Unicorn, and also if you link it off, it gives you an extra body. Just reborn the Unicorn with this card. And finally, we have our Counter Trap, Mannadium Reframing. Add this card to your hand if you have your Mannadium engine already rolling. And yeah, that's my 60 card pile right here. My 60 cards, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Imperms, 1 Baylor, 1 Ogre, 1 Droll, 1 Forloss, 1 Nib, 3 copies of Mannadium Ream Hearts, 3 copies of Mannadium Fearless, 2 copies of Visa Samsara, 1 Visa Starfrost, 1 Scareclaw Rykard, 1 Scareclaw Acro, 1 Unicorn, 2 Fenrirs, 3 Elzettes of the White Forest, 2 Lucias of the White Forest, 1 Azamina Elzette, 3 copies of Spright Blue, 1 Spright Jet, 2 Spright Reds, 1 Carrot, 3 Peaceful Planet Calariums, 2 Primitive Planet Dracophobias, 2 Pressured Planet Rysauce, 3 Crossout Designators, 1 Called By, 1 Reinforcement, 1 Terraforming, 2 Spright Starters, 2 Obsidians, 1 Deception, 1 Hallowed Azamina, 1 Scareclaw Rival, 1 Kashtira Birth, and 1 Mannadium Reframing for 60 card main deck. For extra deck, we play 1 copy of Mannadium Trisulta, reborn the level 2 tuner to go into Visa Zamatara, or alternatively, you can go Lucia of the White Forest, search for Azamina Elzette, special summon her, and go to Visa's Amatara from there. Depending what you want in your hand, if chain link blocking is more important, go for Lucia, because once Azamina Elzette is sent as synchro material, you can go Chainlink 1 Amatara, Chainlink 2 Azamina Elzette, and this is the more important effect to resolve, so depending on what your hand looks like, you can go for Trisulta or Lucia. It's your choice. 1 copy of Silvera, when it's summoned, places all your opponent's monsters face down, which is achievable by Diabell. Diabell, whenever a card is activated, send 1 spell and trap, summon her to the field to put all your opponent's monsters face down. And also it's good for grind game. The White Forest synchro monsters, add back to the extra deck. Pretty good for grind game, honestly. And now for the generic synchros, one Herald of the Arclight. You have a level 2 tuner and a level 2 non-tuner. One copy of Materia Beast. And that's for the level 2 Earth tuner and the level 3 Scareclaw monster. One copy of Chaos Angel. Pretty much a generic level 10 that you can go into. And Super Heavy Samurai, generic level 12 that you can go into. One copy of Scareclaw Lightheart. One copy of Cross Sheep. It's a nice reborn. You can go for the level 2 tuner, level 2 non-tuner, level 4 tuner, and level 4 non-tuner. There's a lot of choices that you can go for Cross Sheep to reborn. We go for SP Little Knight, great utility card. Azamina Silvera is there because of Azamina Elzette. Add Deceptions, go for this card. Easy Omni Negate there. One copy of Visa's Astrolaud. Either Silvera or Astrolaud you can summon along with Cross Sheep to get that free reborn. And finally, one copy of Gigantic Spright to extend on your level 2 Spright plays for extra negates. So for your side deck, if you are going first, 2 cards that you're going to really side in. One of them is Spright Starter, great extender for your Spright cards. And also one copy of Purulia. Like, these are the only 2 cards. Purulia is there for a cross-out target because if your opponent resolves this is actually worse than 4 loss resolving. Because Purulia, you're going to special summon from the deck in hand so many times. And a lot of cards in your main deck you want to keep, so depending on what you're playing, you only need to replace 2 cards, so that should be pretty easy going first. Going second, you want to side in 2 additional Molchami 4 losses. 2 additional Drolls. If you've noted that they added more than 1 card from the deck to the hand, definitely side in 2 extra Drolls. If they're playing a light and dark deck, side in 1 Bestial Magnum Hut and 2 Druid Swarms. And for board breakers, we play 1 Harpy's Feather Duster and 2 Cosmic Cyclones. Since Tempire Dragon is dead, we play 3 evenly matched. And yeah, that's it for the side deck. So we will now test this 60 card deck pile monstrosity. And I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle it and draw cards unedited and see what we get. Alright, here we go. Okay, so now that the deck is shuffled, we'll go ahead and draw our first 5 cards. This is an interesting hand. Okay, so for going first, Crossout Designator is really nice. Ideally, you want to save that for Droll and Lockbird. So what we're going to do, Special Summon Fenrir, go ahead and activate Fenrir's effect. If they play Imperm, Ash, or if they play any hand trap against Fenrir, just let it go and just wait for Droll and Lockbird. So Fenrir, activate Fenrir, assuming there's no hand traps. We are going to add Unicorn for next turn. So adding Unicorn to hand, what we're going to go next, since we only have 1 normal summon, we're going to normal summon Rykard, activate Rykard's effect. Rykard, assuming it does go off, we're going to go ahead and add Scareclaw Arrival. What we're going to do next is activate Primitive Planet Rhycophobia. We are going to add Visa Starfrost since we don't have it in our hand and we want to extend our plays by Cross Sheep later on in the game. So Starfrost is now in our hand. What we do next, Link Summon. Going to Scareclaw Lightheart. Lightheart's effect to add another Primitive Planet Rhycophobia to hand. So we're going to keep this card for next turn since we don't have any White Forest cards. So 6 cards in hand now. What we do next, we're going to activate Visa Starfrost, pop the Lightheart to summon it. Then we'll activate Lightheart's effect once per duel, special summon next to the Starfrost. And what we'll do next afterwards is, I think what's great is level 10 synchro play. So we'll go ahead and go Scareclaw Rival, Reborn the Reinhardt, and go into Chaos Angel. And we're gonna keep Scareclaw Lightheart here so we can go into Link 2 plays next. So what we're gonna do is activate Spright Starter and go for Spright Blue. We take damage equal to its attack, Spright Blue's effect. We're gonna go ahead and add Spright Jet. Special summon Spright Jet. Go ahead for Spright Jet, and for next turn, since we already activate Spright Starter, your second copy of Spright Starter. I think the monster negate is more important, so we're going to add Exceed Summon. Into Gigantic Spright. Gigantic Spright effect, we're going to ahead and detach blue to summon red. For Spright Starter, we can summon Spright Carrot next turn, which is really nice. And assuming we use Crossout Designator already for Droll or whatever other hand trap, we'll just send that to the graveyard. And yeah, the last play we can do is going to SB Little Knight for Scareclaw Lightheart and Gigantic Spright. And yeah, SB Little Knight. And set Starter and go ahead and pass your turn. And yeah, that's how you play this deck. Even though we didn't draw any White Forest cards, we'll do that in the next example. We'll draw 4 random cards, and we're gonna draw Elzette as our 5th card, and I'm gonna explain how we can pop off from there. Elzette, I might just assume that's going to be my 5th draw just to show how the deck works with Elzette of the White Forest, so I'm gonna shuffle my deck. And draw my 4 cards, including my Elzette. So Spright Blue, Pressured Planet, Spright Red, Mannadium Multi-Engine, and our 5th card is going to be Elzette. So I'm looking at my hand, so the first thing I want to do is activate Pressured Planet Rice Sauce. And Rice Sauce, I'm going ahead and search Unicorn. We're going to special summon Unicorn in defense position. I place it in defense because just in case you have Scareclaw Reinhardt, you get to draw 1 card if there's 3 or more defensive position monsters. So just put it at defense position at first. And because we didn't have Call By or Crossed Out, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna activate Elzette's effect first before adding any other card. So Elzette, we're gonna pitch Rice Sauce to summon her. Then we're going to add Lucia from my deck to the hand. And I get to summon Lucia because I control Elzette. So that's already a synchro for a level 6 synchro monster. But before we do that, we're going to special summon Spright Red. Just in case they have Nibiru or any other monster hand traps, Spright Red is pretty good in that scenario. Then we're going to go Spright Blue. Spright Blue's effect. We're going to go ahead and add Spright Jet. Now at this point, if they didn't droll you, go ahead and activate Kashtira Unicorn's effect to add Kashtira Burst. We are going to go for level 6 synchro play now. And what we're going to use is Spright Blue. We want to light up monster to stay on the field, so Spright Blue and Lucia make the level 6 Lucia of the White Forest. And we're going to activate Lucia's effect. We are going to send Mannadium Multi-Engine. We'll just have this back later, it's fine. we send Mannadium Obsidian, we are going to add Azamina Elzette. So next we're going to special summon Azamina Elzette to our field, or any Azamina monster, which currently is only Elzette at this moment. So next we're going to synchro into Mannadium Amatar by using these two. So here we're going to do Chainlink 1 Amatar and Chainlink 2 Azamina Elzette. Azamina Elzette is go ahead and add Deception of the Sinful Spoils. Visa's Amatar is going to go ahead and add any spell and trap that mentions Visa Starfrost. We're going to add Peaceful Planet Calarium. Now keep in mind that we have not normal summoned this turn, so instead of adding Mannadium Obsidian, I've added Peaceful Planet Calarium instead. Yeah, if you rewind the video, we have not normal summoned at all. So here we have Spright Red, protected from monster effects. And what we do next is go ahead and activate Peaceful Planet Calarium. We are go ahead and adding Mannadium Realm Heart from our deck to hand. I think here, because we don't have Visa's, we're not going to keep Visa's Amatar and we don't have any other sources for Visa's Starfrost. We're going to use the Azamina Fusion monster to Reborn from the Grave by Cross Sheep. So what we're going to do next is activate Deception of the Sinful Spoils, use this effect, tribute the Unicorn, go ahead and add the Howled Azamina. We're going to save this for later. And for now, what we're going to do is just Link Summon Visa's Amatara, go ahead and go into Scareclaw Lightheart. Scareclaw Lightheart's effect, it lets me add Primitive Planet Recophobia. And before we do anything else, let's see if we can send the field spell for cost. That would be nice, using a White Forest card. We're gonna normal summon Mannadium Realm Heart, activate Realm Heart's effect, add the ball. Here I'm thinking about going into Natural Beast, since we actually can use Primitive Planet to add aggro from our deck to hand. So thinking on what I want to do next. So what I'm going to do first is go into Mannadium Fearless, Synchro Summon using these two. Go into Trisulta. Trisulta's effect will allow me to Reborn Fearless from the grave. Then we're going to go ahead and, unfortunately we don't have a White Forest effect yet, and maybe it'll come up later, but we can use Primitive Planet Recophobia for that. So we'll go Primitive Planet Recophobia. Primitive Planet Recophobia, we're going to go ahead and add our Acro from our deck to hand. Now here I kind of messed up, since Trisulta should be over here so I can special summon Acro to the correct place. But this is fixable though from what I'm seeing, and I'm saying that because what we can do is go ahead and go into our level 8 Synchro Monster using these two. And we are going into Diabell. And because we actually used the tuner, we can add a spell and trap back to our hand. So I'm gonna go ahead from my graveyard pile, add back Mannadium Obsidian from my deck to hand. We haven't used the effect yet, so it's going to be really nice. Now we can special summon Acro. Acro next to Scareclaw Lightheart. Next we're going to Synchro Summon into Natural Beast. Now keep in mind we still have 4 cards in our hand. Spright Jet for follow-up, Kashtira Burst for Unicorn, Obsidian if we want to extend or plays, and Howled Azamina for Omni Negate. So I think what we can do is go Azamina, send Deception, and go ahead and summon Azamina Silvera. Like, I don't think your opponent is going to win this game. Like, there's no shot. So actually, I think before Rycophobia, I could have kept Peaceful Planet Calarium and for Obsidian search for the counter trap. But that's something that you'll have to keep in mind later on. But this board is looking great so far. What we can do next is go Kashtira Burst. Kashtira Burst. We're going to use the effect later and just first go Spright Jet. Spright Jet's effect. Go ahead and add your Spright starter. And here, because we have an Omni Negate already, what we can do is go into rank 2. Go into Gigantic Spright. And here I kind of messed up because I should place Azamina Elzette on the far left for cross cheap, but it is what it is. I'm running out of monster room. There's so many unlimited options. I think what we can do next is I'm comfortable being locked into level 2 or lower monsters. I could have added the counter trap. Let's just do that real quick. Assuming Peaceful Planet is already on the field, what we could have done is add the counter trap instead. So for Spright starter, we can save that for next turn. Just get a monster negate up for now. Activate Spright's effect, attach red to summon another red. And honestly, we can use the Spright starter after linking off, so Gigantic Spright and Spright Jet, along with Scareclaw Lightheart. We're going to make SP Little Knight. We're going to activate Spright starter to summon Spright Carrot to the field. And settle Mannadium Reframing, and I don't think our opponent can break this board. We have SP Little Knight, we have Spright Carrot, Spright Red, we have Diabell, another Omni Negate, and all spell negates. Like, your opponent, I don't think they can play through this.